Yo, 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 yo. This is your boy Nebula 5, and this is Footwork Cafe, Lightworks, open sessions, April 18th. I'm sitting here with my boy, my young boy, Crossfire. How you feeling? How you doing?
What's the word of sus, cuz? I'm all good. How you been feeling?
Man, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Decent night tonight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to AG. He got his event going on. Shout out to him. Shout out to his new project that's out. Y'all go grab that. Y'all go listen to that. Um,
Yeah, I'm finna head over there a little while. Just thought I came through, show some love here real quick. The event starts at 9, but everything starts at 10 at the event. So,
right.
mm-hmm.
Right. But that's cool. That's dope. Me, on the other hand, I have to be a father. So
Daddy duties awaits, man.
yeah, I got to do what I got to do. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna have to holler at y'all another day on that one. But other than that, we are at open sessions, Footwork Cafe, Lightworks, April 18th, and we really just getting started today.
Oh yeah, man, most definitely,
Yeah.
man. Shout out Nebula 5, shout out A Curry, man, for making this happen for how many years? About 2 years or so?
Appreciate it. Shit, it's going on 3 years. It's going on like 3 years, probably like
Oh
four and a
wow.
half.
Okay. That's what's
Like
up.
3 years, like three
Three
and a half.
years.
Yeah.
3 years going strong, man. That's good.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Y'all pop out to one of our open sessions, man. Every third Friday of the month at the Bridgeport Art Center, 5th floor, 1200 West 35th Street, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, man. Y'all want to miss out, man. Free photo shoots, free video shoots, man. Get your profile going and, profile yourself, man. Let the world know who you is and such.
Right. Y'all want content? Come get some content. Y'all always talking about y'all want free content. Where y'all at?
Yeah, you won't be disappointed neither.
No.
Very good quality, too.
Yes, indeed. Quality work, quality artists, quality creators over here.
Mm-hmm.
Networking, all that. Come have some fun. Come kick a leg. Come have a conversation. You know, it's all a creative atmosphere. That's what we do here.
Most definitely.
Yeah. But even doing this right here, like this a test run. But we testing out some audio equipment, but we're still here.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
So, question, man. So, what made you and a Curry team up decide to do Lightworks?
Well, him and another one of our friends, they already had it going on. This day studio actually, and he noticed I was doing my thing, and he reached out and he was like, "Man, do your thing, you know what I'm saying, at our studio, you know what I'm saying, become part of the, like, man, we pretty much family anyway. Like, so we all are friends for like numerous amount of years and stuff like that. We actually go back, kicking it and partying and stuff like that, like in the clubs. I met them in the club, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So him, actually, Anthony is like the cousin of my boy Rob, you know what I'm saying, that ended up passing away. So I end up meeting Anthony through Rob actually.
Oh, okay.
That's how we met. So I actually was cool with Rob first, and then I met him. You know what I'm saying? Then cause we used to go over his house. When he stayed in the city, we used to go over to his house and kick it, rap. You know what I'm saying? Talk shit. Whatever. Just hang out. So we did that for a numerous amount of years and everything like that. Then he got into the photography stuff. Besides my other guy, Giles, because my boy Giles, like his father, actually is a photographer. That's what he did. You know what I'm saying? So he learned it from his father and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like they reached out. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Man, I see you doing your thing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Creative." And we always, it don't matter what we was doing. Like we always like gave each other encouragement and lifted each other up. You know what I'm saying? So why not do it with the people, you know what I'm saying, that's doing like the same like creative thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's how that went.
So, what do you feel your mission is when it comes to Lightworks and Footwork Cafe?
My mission is pretty much to give a spotlight to the dance community as far as like DJs, footworkers, and it's really and it's the thing. It's not just about footwork. It's about the footwork that has to do with all dance around the world.
Mm-hmm.
All dance has footwork, you know what I'm saying? Unless you just doing hand movements and stuff, but it's called Footwork Cafe for a minute, you know what I'm saying? For a reason, just because it's pretty much like in the cafe, like all walks of life come, you know what I'm saying, and enjoy tea, coffee, and stuff like that. And they're under one roof, you know what I'm saying, like being positive and getting along and stuff like that. So it's pretty much it's the same thing with the dance community. Everybody, especially the Chicago dance community, even though it's different genres of dance like crump, footwork, and different things like that. I think it all falls under one roof of like dancing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like so, instead of just being like just separate, like we all one dance community, and we should just work together more. And we need more showcasing. You know what I'm saying? Every artist can't have a manager, and every artist can't get an agent or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Every artist can't don't doesn't have money to pay for pictures, high quality pictures or videos or like content or promo and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, I'm like, okay, let's help each other out. Let's promote each other. So it's a cross promotion type thing. It's a cross promotion platform. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking anything away from people, you know what I'm saying, or anything. I'm not taking no money out of nobody's pocket. We're helping each other promote each other. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because we're all in the game of creativity and talent, and we're trying to push and to get two heads are better than one. Three heads are better than one. Four heads are better than one. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Right.
has this crabs in a book, you know what I'm saying, barrel like mentality of like, I want to be the first one to do this. Why can't we all do it at the same time? Everybody doing their thing just in a different way right now. You know what I'm saying? Contributing to footwork, contributing to this genre, dance, popping, crump, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're in Chicago, if we're dancing at the same studio, why not, you know what I'm saying, make a video together? Everybody else, you know what I'm saying, around the world. There's people around the world right now that that don't know each other, but they know each other through dance. They're flying out to do content with each other. You know what I'm saying? To grow each other's audiences. That's what it's about now. You know what I'm saying? It's about cross promotion. And I noticed that a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, as far as like in like not in the footwork culture, but the dance culture period, we
Yeah.
always wait till like a big platform wants to, you know what I'm saying, wants to promote us, you know what I'm saying, to feel like validated or something like we made it or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But how about, getting more promotion or getting your name out there, you know what I'm saying, as far as like even like okay, basically like you want somebody from LA to notice you. But
Mm-hmm.
people don't but people even from your own town don't even know who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of logic. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, why not like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like an artist or anything like that. Make your name around the town. You're making your name around the town. You know what I'm saying? It's like us coming up for working and stuff. We made our name around the city. That's how we got, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's what's the name and stuff. You know what I'm saying? How do you think you know what I'm saying, people were like feared and revered because word got around that they were the coldest dancers, or they were the coldest at this, or they were the coldest at that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it went. So
Yeah.
it's one of them things where it's like we 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 are all fighting the same fight. You know what I'm saying? To get noticed, to get recognized, to get for our talents. And I think everybody has that same right. But at the same token is it's to the point where it's like it's us giving y'all an alley oop. What you gonna do after the alley oop? We can
Mm.
take your picture, we can do some video content for you, but after that, what are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna keep getting content? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna get to a point where you know what, hey bro, you know what I'm saying? How much does it cost? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get this, I'm trying to do a mini documentary. I'm trying to do a short film. I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like how serious are you about trying to get to the top? That's the whole point of it. You know what I'm saying? So even now, you know what I'm saying, we're doing all this for free. You can come here right now. The only missing out part is you.
Hmm.
The video, the pictures are free, but the only person that's missing to take them is you. So the only thing you got to do, you know what I'm saying? It's like you only thing you got to do is just show up on time and punch in. That's it. But people don't even want to do that. So it's just to the point where it's like take advantage of the opportunities that you have, you know, and or that are around you. You know what I'm saying? Even for myself, you know what I'm saying? I've been in certain stints. So I'm speaking from experience where I didn't take certain opportunities and I should have. Why? Because probably because my ego or my pride or something like that. You know, so people got to get out of that.
Do you feel that pride and ego is one of the most difficult things in this community to help
To help build what?
build the culture in the community itself?
Yes, but see, this is the thing. It's the difference between it's the difference between pride, ego, and it's the difference between like being confident and competition and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So just like anything, you know what I'm saying? Like this is a street culture. So in the street culture, you have a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, it's a street culture. It's mostly male dominated, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's a collective of, you know what I'm saying, males and females.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like a big brother sister programs, you know what I'm saying? Like teens, you know what I'm saying, who could have went down the wrong paths of the streets or something like that, but who wanted to do something different with their talents. And instead of me fighting you, instead of me shooting at you, instead of some gang violence and stuff, man, let's get in a circle and let's battle it out. Let's battle it out with styles. Let's battle it out with talent. You know what I'm saying? Let's exhaust, you know what I'm saying? Let get, you know what I'm saying? I want to feel like I accomplished something, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like we really went at it, you know what I'm saying, or what or something. Let's settle it like that. Something constructive instead of something detrimental.
Yeah, it's just like b-boying in New York instead of gang bangs. Like, hey man, let's get a cardboard, let's battle it out doing the b-boy. So pretty much all the same entity as any street dance and cultures throughout the whole U.S. of A. or possibly around the world, where it's just instead of shooting it out or fighting it out, let's dance it out.
Right,
So
right,
it's all a creative expression instead of putting the anger on the floor.
right, right.
So, what are the steps that we could do to help build the community and from this point on?
Well, one of the biggest things is um, having conversations like this. That's one of the things to help. Um, one of the biggest things that I see, it has to be a middle common ground with both the new age generation coming up and the generation from my generation, you know what I'm saying, and past, like the OGs.
I agree with that. And that's why I interact with a lot of y'all.
Yeah,
Understand where y'all coming from, but I also be understand where the youngest coming from too.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. I mean, and it's nothing wrong with that, but I think the biggest misconception is nowadays with the younger generation, they have to understand that okay, it's easy to speak in past tense,
Yeah,
but in this generation, the disconnect is one of the biggest disconnects is one, and this is from my opinion.
okay, I'm all in.
From my opinion,
Yeah,
one, a lot of people from our community haven't been around corporate settings, so they're now just getting knowledge of being around corporate settings and how they operate, like as far as like the all style battles and different things like that.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? As far as like all style battles, you're dealing with labels, you're dealing with managers or anything like that.
Yeah,
So what I see is the disconnect is now the younger generation is this is like music to me. The younger generation is like, okay, it's our time. Y'all had y'all time, and we're winning. This is our time, and we can prove it because we're winning. and these are the results of us winning. And not to say that it is invalid. You all are you're winning.
Mm-hmm.
You are, but just another problem. The problem is with that winning, I see on the back end a lot of confusion and a lot of non-understanding of how the corporate world works as far as companies, brands, promotion, uh, promo. Pretty much, it's like a record label. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of us coming from the hood, and like it's like when you see kids. You know what I'm saying? Like always getting messed over. Like they get a deal and they immediately they think they rich. You know what I'm saying? Because they get an advance, but they don't have the knowledge what's the advance for,
Yeah.
and they just spend it on everything. And then they wonder why this ain't happening and this ain't happening because they didn't read the contract. You know what I'm saying?
So in other words, they don't know what they're walking into. The spot is gonna finna that they're winning, and it's like they see where it could lead them to, but it's like, look, okay, you're in there, but you gotta know the rules and guidelines as you're walking in this path.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yep. So that's one of the biggest things that I see. You know what I'm saying? Because on the back end, it's always statuses that I see. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I wonder why this be happening. Why, man, this is not fair, and wonder why this is happening. This is not happening. Okay, in my head, I'm like, okay, you don't have an understanding of how they operate over there. And this the problem. The problem is, are you asking? Are you asking questions? Are you just assuming? Are you just doing what we normally do? Are you just going, oh man, they don't get this and they don't get that, and you know what I'm saying? Oh, they don't get Chicago footwork and they don't get this and they don't get that. Why don't they get it though?
I think I know the answer to that. It's more so of assuming than asking questions
Yeah.
because I see it in both ends. You know, as DMX once said, God rest his soul, he said it's like pro ball and street ball. If you more in the street ball, but you don't know what it's like to be in the pro ball, you know, you're gonna assume that pro ball is like street ball when it's like, no, that ain't the case, and vice versa. If you only know pro ball but you don't know street ball, you're gonna assume that okay, this ain't it or whatever the case may be. Where it's like, look, are you asking question on what this content of this element is about? So when I look at footwork, you know, I look at it both ends. Okay, you got the professional end, and then you got the street end. You know, some prefer one prefer the other. But ones that don't understand, it's like, look, it don't hurt to ask questions instead of assuming what you may think it is, or you walking and thinking that you know what it is when it really ain't that.
Right. I'm gonna be right back. Hold on. Y'all can still hear me. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna sit when I come right back. Hold on. I'm gonna tell
Mm-hmm.
you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you one of the disconnects, and I'm gonna explain why.
Hey, that's the beauty of editing.
Right. Exactly. Okay. For example,
Okay.
this is one of the disconnects that I see from the old school and the new school.
All right.
The style thing.
Okay. Elaborate on that a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay, the style.
This is okay. When we get into the conversation and we start talking about as far as footwork is concerned, that there is no styles and there is no moves and people can do what they want. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of the disconnects from the old school and the new school. Why? Because this is the thing. See, when we complain, or it seems like we complain, or it seems like what y'all call it nowadays, hating or anything like that or whatever, and
Yeah.
what it is this is the disconnect. The disconnect is we love to see y'all doing y'all thing. There's no hating in that. We love the battles that y'all throwing. We love the content that y'all dropping. We love this, we love that. You love that. But the disconnect is,
Uh-huh.
this is the problem. The problem is, and this is where the corporate disconnect comes in. This is where I'm from the hood and I ain't been around corporate stuff, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
this is where disconnect comes in. The disconnect comes in when you go over there and you dance for them. They don't know what your culture is. That's one of the aspects. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're dancing for people that don't come from the culture. So they don't know they don't know about the expo parties. They don't know about this. They don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? And it's no different than like the competitions. If you're not voicing certain things, how will you ever expect them to know what you're doing and what's going on? So it's like a lesson that you're not learning from because you're going off assumption and assumption and assumption and assumption and assumption. But this is the hold on before you even say something. This is like okay, it's like basketball.
Yeah.
When you're playing another team, this is another reason like they have to watch the game tapes.
Yeah.
Why? To see what they're going up against. But the problem is, it's like you're going up against the team and you're not going back and watch the game tapes.
Yeah. Watch they plays or how they
Yeah,
get
you
down.
just
Yeah.
assuming that whatever you think that's it, whatever you got in your head is gonna work. That you ain't got to do nothing else but that. That all you got to do is just okay. I'm just gonna do this real good, and all I got to do is that, and then it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Let me elaborate on that,
Go ahead.
because that's a valid point because of the fact that, once again, you walk into the path of the unknown. So if you don't know, it don't hurt to ask questions. And when you don't know, you're just going to steady assume. But at the same time, this is my opinion,
Go ahead.
because I look at the disconnect with old schools and new schoolers. It's like, look, sometimes I wonder, does the old schools really be studying the new ways as opposed of the new wave studying the old?
Yes.
And the reason what I mean by that is that, like, for an example, like everyone will steady keep saying from the dance minivan, shout out to Sluggo and Viva Acid and everyone else that laid the dance mini event together. But I was looking at how people were saying like, y'all was dancing off beat and da 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 da. And I'm like, well, to be honest, some of them old schools weren't on beat neither. And, this is
I'm glad you
I'm
brought
like,
it up.
I find that funny. Y'all say us. It's like, well, some of them old schools weren't on beat neither.
I'm glad you brought that up.
They weren't on beat neither.
Glad you brought that up.
But you want to picnic on us or the younger generations that's after me. But it's like, bro, don't act like y'all era weren't on beat neither. So it's like, stop.
And I gotta
And
go ahead.
I'm the type of guy like, look, like shout out my boy John Selter from the firm. That's my man's. I got mad respect for Brody. You know, when we tell the old heads like, bro, interact with us, we're not saying for y'all to footwork. We're saying like, bro, be around us for what it really is. Quit watching from this. And this is me not only as a fool, but as a cameraman, walking in real life, in real time, or me walking in here. You know, the same way that y'all advertise every third Sunday of the month that y'all doing a free photo and video shoot
Every third Friday.
of the
Come
month.
on, don't
Come
do
on,
get it
walk
right.
in and see for yourself for what it really is instead of just seeing it here on the screen or on the YouTubes or on the Instagram. That's all I'm saying. Like, come around. Like I told Brandon and them, like, bro, this is the main reason why I support y'all events because there was a handful of old schools when I would come that came around our events with the war zones and the battlegrounds and the toughs and the Markham Field House and the skating rinks and the 87 rinks. And I'm speaking of my era because I didn't know about Dawn Expo because I came later after that when all those events was diminished. The
Right.
only legendary spot I've been to in my time was the Elk Lodge. That's about it.
Right.
So but with that being said, now speaking of you saying that the white folks or the people overseas per se, they don't know. There actually been a few people that actually been curious about what our culture is really about. So I don't knock all of them. And those that really speak to me or you or whoever, I respect them more because they really want to understand the culture for what it is. So I say that to say this, that I'm seeing both spectrums where it's like I hear you, but it's like it ain't always the case with everybody too. So keep in mind that there are some that really do want to know what it is. And even me as, a forward that did not come from the area that you come from, even I'm doing my homework and learning what was what and what came before what and where y'all used to be at before my time of footwork and stuff like that. And I always tell people, even from outsiders walking in, like, look, if you want to really interact, if you really want to do videos and all that, here's a better example. Check this out. Two days ago, I got a random inbox from a black cat. Don't know him. I checked his resume. He has no interaction with the culture. He was talking about what event was this? You know, it was amazing. And I want to do a mini documentary. I was like, my face was like, who are you, dude? Looked at the man profile. No mutual followings, nothing. Except for two, but the two, it's not even relevant people that's really knee deep in the culture like we are. So I gave him, I was like, I'm gonna give you one advice because ain't no one gonna do this little mini documentary. Like I told him straight up, if you really wanna do this so-called documentary, you better do one simple thing. Really two things. Study this culture for what it really is, as well as interact with us and get to know us before you even think about doing it. Because to at some capacity, bro, we get kind of tired of outsiders just wanting to interact with us. However, on the flip side, you know, as you said earlier, people want to take chance with everybody, but it's like sometimes it's not a necessity to do that all the time because it's like, bro, you don't know what you're gonna get into for messing with someone that has no type of affiliation with our culture or has a very solid idea of what our culture really is for you to interact with that person. So as you said earlier, like people walk in just assume so much where it's like, no, don't always do that, bro. Ask questions or study that person. Do your homework on them as they doing homework on you. As well as this, you know, as I always tell all these footworkers, they trying to take off. I'm like, bro, they studying us too. So the same way they study us, study them too. They watch us, watch them. You got to play their game. They definitely watching us. They watching what to do, what not to do. You think these people not on that BG's page, seeing all the gossips and all that? There's 1,000 people for no reason, and how many people out of those thousands really post and comment every day? Do the math. Out of 1,000 that's on there, mind you, what makes you think there ain't no overseas members in there? They watching. So the same way we watch us, we gotta watch them. It's not rocket science, man.
Right. Okay.
And at the end of the day, they're the outsides looking in. We're on the inside looking out.
Right.
But we still got to play that we're on the outside looking in on their behalf too elsewhere.
Well, okay. That was a lot of series of questions in one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to reply. But
hey, I don't mean, but I had to get that off my chest.
No, it's good. Look, we talking.
Because you're right, there is a lot of misconception. But one thing I need to also address too is like, look, I don't knock y'all era neither, but I'll tell you, don't disrespect my era. You know, of course we didn't come from like this is a pet. I really hate it when people of your era instead of keep saying, "Oh, y'all don't know nothing about Dalton Expo. Y'all don't know about 47, the president. Y'all don't know about 111. Y'all don't know." I'm like, of course we don't. We was kids. The only people there's only a handful that know are probably Q from Wolfpack because y'all snuck them in at parties. But we babies. One generation walks off a new spawn of generation. That's what people gotta understand. A new generation gonna spawn right in, bro.
Okay. I think I think I'm gonna explain from because I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak from what I've seen and what I'm seeing and what my opinion is of what the disconnect is.
Mm-hmm.
I think the disconnect from the old school and the new school is we come from a certain time where it was more structured. And I think y'all are born in a time where a lot of things are unstructured. And I think that's where the clash is. So when y'all are dancing in these competitions and y'all are mingling with these other people, different ethnic groups and different stuff like that, yeah, it could be a little jealousy, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, because on certain terms and don't let this cloud the point that I'm making.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
because I'm just
Hey, look,
because I'm talking.
I don't. Hey, look, I don't get offended by what people's opinions or what their perspective is, because I don't let that make me feel like.
Yeah.
No. Go ahead.
Let me get back into it. So I think it's a little bit of jealousy of like, dang, like man, they're reaching certain things that we really couldn't reach. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, let me finish. Hold on. Let
Go
me get
ahead.
to it.
I'm just.
I'm talking about on a subconscious scale. Like, man, they're reaching a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. But let me just toss that to the side. I think the disconnect is okay because this is the young generation. Okay, like because when we was coming up, you know what I'm saying, things were more structured. People, dance groups, you know what I'm saying, everybody came from a dance background. That's one. Everybody came from a dance background.
That's a fact.
Everybody, this wasn't groups of footworkers.
That was the fact.
That was you had to be a dancer. That's
fact.
one. We came from being dancers, period.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Wasn't just no footworking and battling. You had to know how to dance, period. You had to know how to dance. Any music they put on, just like them all styles, you had to learn how to move, how to groove. You know what I'm saying? How to dance. Or else you could not get in no group. It wasn't just do some combos and all of a sudden you win. No. You had to be an overall dancer. That's one. So that's where, so from an old school mind, if I'm looking at a new age battle, this is the disconnect problem. The disconnect problem is a lot of y'all don't come from an all styles background of all styles dance background. A lot of y'all come from just a footwork background. So the disconnect comes in when they put on these different styles of music and you don't come from a background of of knowing how to dance and knowing how to groove and knowing how to do this and knowing how to do that, you're going to come up with your own interpretation of what that is. So instead of just really coming up with it, you're going to look to the next thing and you're just going to start doing what the next person doing to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And then you're going to improvise and you're going to throw in some little your stuff or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it just becomes a cluster F full of stuff. So when we look at that, we're looking at it like, what the hell are they doing? Y'all are looking at it that, you know what I'm saying? But see, this is where the disconnect is. This is where the disconnect is. And y'all mind, and y'all in the new school people mind, there is no flaw. Why? Because everybody's screaming.
Yeah,
everybody's cheering for
it. You right.
Everybody's cheering.
It kills me when they walk around. They be like, "Oh, I'm like he didn't footwork." work yet.
But this is the problem though. But see, but this is the problem. The disconnects comes in y'all mind, in the new age mind, y'all like, man, bro, we killing them. They screaming. So y'all just dancing, y'all doing a whole bunch of big crowd pleaser moves and different things like that. But there's no grooving. There's no boom, 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 boom. There's no grooving. It's just a bunch of big moves that take place.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So in the old school mind, we're thinking about, okay, it looks unstructured.
Okay.
And y'all in the new school mind is, it doesn't matter if it's unstructured, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm entertaining and they're screaming regardless. That's where the divide comes in. Because we're looking at it like, but this what happens. What happens is it's like the rap business.
Yeah.
You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed because look, I'm getting a deal. They love me. Interscope is finally talking to me. See? They love me. They're cheering for me. I'm out there killing them. I'm winning competitions. I'm doing all of that. But in hints that the structure gets lost because you're not explaining to them what it is. So when it's footwork events comes up, and when all these people are mingling and everything like that, and when you're mingling with them, are you explaining to them that this dance has a structure? Are you explaining to them that this dance has music, that it goes to a certain BPM? I'm just in a mixed style battle, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just having fun. I'm mixing it up. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But do the mixed style battle people know what you're doing though? Do they know what an irk and jerk is? Do they know what a shake and bake is? Do they know this? Do they know that? Are you explaining it to them while you're out here having fun with them? Because see, we get wrapped up in, they love me. They love me. I'm getting accepted. You know what I'm saying? They love me. I'm getting accepted. Man, you know what I'm saying? I'm having fun. Don't get caught up though. We get caught up. What I'm trying to get to is we get caught up in the white acceptance too much. We get caught up in the white acceptance. We get caught up in the, man, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I'm doing it, man. Them old dudes is hating, man. Why they ain't out here doing the competitions and different shit like that or whatever?
You wanna know where I think that comes from?
Yeah.
Part of that, this is from what I've noticed and even experienced amongst my peers and the people that's real deep in the coaching. I think a part of that comes from where it's like they ain't getting the love amongst the circumference of us.
Yes.
So when they ain't getting that there, they're gonna get it elsewhere.
But hold on. But I'm gonna prove it to you on another scale too, of what we do to each other. That's just like when all, you know what I'm saying, when this is what I see, and we do this all the time. If they don't know what we do so much, why do we always post them? If they don't get what we do, why do we always post them all the time? Why post? It's like, for example, like in the BG's page.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they don't get our culture and different stuff like that. But you're gonna post Jonathan, and you're gonna say, I bet y'all can't mess with him. All you're doing is giving Jonathan more promotion than you. You know how to do it right. Why are you promoting Jonathan? You ain't even rather promote yourself. That don't make sense. Then you get mad when other people are sharing your promotion and they get more bigger than you. What? This is what I see all the time. Man, like what is the problem? That's what I'm saying. What is the disconnect? Why you don't even, if they don't get it, if you don't like this dude from this other group, why would you post somebody that you don't even know before him that actually know how to do it though? That's the problem. We get too excited for acceptance. It's nothing wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with them. It's us though. We get too accepted. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
that we put certain things in on a certain totem, and we make that a value. You know what I'm saying? That's what I be saying. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody hating. It's one of them things where it's like, stop putting other things over the value of your own, and then after a while getting mad when it get taken away from you.
well, I also look at it like this. The same way that people say we need to stick together and all that because, these people love our culture, but they don't like us. I'm like, well, bro, it's the same way amongst our own people. We love our culture, but we don't like us neither.
Yeah,
So
but
it's like two guns in both of our heads. So now you got to decipher. That's once again, where is the love at? Am I getting love here or am I getting love over there? And I think that's what also spawns that disconnect you say. So it's like, okay, if we're gonna value our culture and value, that means we need to learn to coexist with one another.
yeah,
Because I tell people, I'm not saying for us to be cool and all that, but understand at the end of the day, we cannot like each other, but understand we're fighting for the same cause, bro.
look,
So why, like for an example, say that there's another camera crew, another set of people that we don't like that's doing the exact same thing that we're doing.
yeah,
I'm not gonna be the type to shit on their shit on what they got, even though I don't agree with what they're doing, and we may have had words with them, like personal stuff.
right.
But the one thing I understand when it comes to this culture here, I'm still gonna respect what they're doing because they fight for the same thing I'm doing. Even though our viewpoints can be different, how they want to operate is gonna be different, and how they want to construct things is gonna be different. But I understand as a person that's really trying to make things happen in this culture within the urban community of Chicago and the neighboring burbs,
Right.
you know, we need to keep pushing our own despite us so we don't have to go reach out to Kelly and all that and promote them as you say and all that.
No, but
Now,
go ahead.
here's another thing amongst that. I feel like the reason why, they get promoted more, and no offense to Kelly, shout out to Kelly, I got respect for her, but the main reason why they get promoted more because for Chicagoans, it's new to them, and it's like for them, it's like a breath of fresh. Like, oh wow, white folks footworking. It's like
But that, but the, what that,
a major ooh and a ah.
what
And
did I just say though?
you
What did
know,
I just say?
I know what you're saying, but
It's the same. It's what
like,
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
but I'll be like this. And here's what makes me laugh. Right, one of my cousins like, this person, this white person, that's for. I'm like, yeah. Sometimes I don't even share the vid. I'll be like, I know these people. I'll be like, here's a photo of them.
But this
Like,
the thing though. But that's the problem. But that's the problem. Is that their problem? Is that our problem? That's our problem. That's what we do. It ain't. But and this the thing. It ain't like this the only time that happens. So why we still be fascinated so
but
much? And this ain't look. And this the thing. This look. Before we hold on.
uh-huh.
Before we continue, this ain't no disrespect to nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's learning Chicago footwork. We're just making a point. You know what I'm saying? That's all we doing.
Also, as well as we want the world, since the world want to understand our culture, is like we want y'all to understand where we're coming from.
Right.
And mind you, we're having this perspective as me and Troy is speaking about the state of the culture of today.
Right.
So
So it's to the point where it's like we the ones that keep getting fascinated. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we the ones that keep getting fascinated about, you know what I'm saying, that stuff all the time. For example, look, it's a person I ain't even gonna name from my group that shared a video and stuff, you know what I'm saying, with me. But look, they ain't shared none of my video. I'm like, what? But that's what I'm saying. Like, what? That don't even make no sense. Like, it's stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying? And then people get mad later on and be like, oh man, we can't have her had nothing. Like, okay then, but you the one that shared the video
you want to
though.
know what's funny? The city caused it. I'm gonna tell you how. Years ago, when people were saying, "Oh, you still footwork?" Yeah, we still footwork. This is our creative outlet of
Right.
whatever our trials and tribulations we go through. So the same people that hate on us are the same people that saying, "Oh, we could never have that." I'm like, well, bro, where the hell was y'all at when we needed y'all? We needed our city to be our backbone. We needed our own footwork to be our backbone.
It's trend because it
So
wasn't trendy. That's what it wasn't no.
So
trendy.
once again,
Wasn't
it goes
trendy.
with that whole issue of where is the love at? Is the love over here or is the love over there? And that's what caused the disconnect all because of people was shitting upon what was homegrown here. And that really, in my opinion, became the major root of the disconnect that we know of today.
But see, look, so because
it's like, look, that's why I be like, look, sometimes I don't always be blaming overseas like that. That's like, bro, it comes from us. We're the cause root of it.
Right. I don't blame overseas at all. I blame us. You know what I'm saying? Entirely.
Like they the cause root. It's like it ain't them.
It ain't them. It's us.
It's like once again, they're on the outside looking in. They don't know what's going on unless we're displaying it. So our job, even me and you, we're here to be the big examples of showing them the way, as well as showing our own at home the way of what it is. And then me, sometimes I feel like I'm more of a middleman because I can't speak for nobody else. But me, I try to talk to everybody to respectfully understand where everyone's coming from, including you. We talk all the time,
right?
Even off this interview, we're gonna talk some more, you know. And I always tell people the real stories I told are off camera,
right?
What we telling y'all is just a small glimpse. Like I say on my Crosstalk podcast, it's like, bro, I'm just here to speak my truth, but leave my truth a paper trail for y'all to figure it out on your own. I'm just here to relay the message.
Yeah.
The same way with any interview or what we're doing right now, like we're here to relay a message, and it's like y'all take from there and you interpret for what you think is true.
Look, all I got to say is, look, we can both learn from each other in a lot of ways. But the thing about it is, from us is we have to stop waiting, you know what I'm saying, until corporate people come around, you know what I'm saying, for us to take something serious. You got a camera phone, use it. You got tracks, play them, dance in front of it, do the same thing everybody else doing. What's stopping you? Why do you have to wait for Red Bull? Why do you got to wait for these sponsors? Why do you got to wait for all this? You can do it. But that's the problem, you know what I'm saying? With us, we got a problem where we want instant validation. You're not gonna get it.
I think we want instant validation from home and from the corporate.
Okay, but this the thing though. You can't do it complaining.
Nope.
You can't do it blaming. You can't do it talking about it's them. You can't do it. You got to footwork. That's what I'm saying. Look, if they don't know how to do it right, look, I mean, and this is reality check. If they don't know how to do it right, then you show them. If they don't know how to do this, then show them. If they don't do that, then show them. What's stopping you from showing them? That's the problem. That's our problem. Jack. You know what I'm saying? Like if you a DJ, what's stopping you? You know what I'm saying? From getting the cameraman or taking some pictures and promoting yourself or telling your story or getting reaching out to the blogs and getting interviews or something. What's stopping you? Hell. What's stopping you from having a podcast? What's stopping you?
Yeah, what's stopping you from even coming here and get a little taste of video shooting photos? Like
Footworkers. Hey, what's stopping you? You know what I'm saying? Look, everybody ain't got no money for no gig. What's stopping you? What's stopping you? You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. What's stopping people?
Man, look, let me tell y'all something. When I came up in the culture with the cameraman, all I had was $1 in a dream. The cameras I was using was my mama's camera and my mama's 30-day to get around. Had I not stayed consistent in doing that, I probably would have not have been where I've been at today.
Right.
I probably would have not have got the respect worldwide that people have given me and all the old schoolers and the new schoolers that have given me. I probably would have not have, met a lot of amazing people in the culture, bro.
Right.
Mind you, I ain't had nothing. I ain't had $1 to my name. I was broke. My mama used to call me Pocket Change. That was my nickname.
Right.
I had nothing. And I like telling those stories because, people want to talk down on people that ain't had nothing. I'm like, bro, we all ain't had nothing. Hell, even any DJ you know that DJ at these parties had nothing.
Right.
Rashad will tell you, Traxman will tell you, RP will tell you, Clint, whoever, they'll tell you, like, bro, we ain't had none. We just did what we love to do. Even when these promoters paid $20 in their pocket,
right,
which is enough to get you a dollar menu at McDonald's back in the day, and you had to stretch that 15 out for something else.
Right.
You
Man,
know?
look, all I can say is I know the certain disconnects, and I can explain them in detail from what I can see. You know what I'm saying? What's sorry, I'm hitting the mic. From what I can see, what the disconnects are. You know what I'm saying? Especially like for as far as like, you know what I'm saying, the promotion and like the dancing and all that. You know what I'm saying, and all that other stuff. Even like okay, even with the, you know what I'm saying, everybody off beat, because I said that too. But see, look, this is the disconnect. This the problem. The problem is we're in an era now where everybody want to show off. Okay, I get it. Everybody want to show off their best combos. Everybody want to show off their moves. That's the problem. But it takes away the structure and the integrity of the craft when you do that. Don't talk about musicality if you ain't dancing on beat just because you want to prove that how many combos you can do to somebody or something like that. You're not you're not using musicality in that sense. You just doing music. Y'all just say you mixing it up. All like everybody who was dancing off beat and stuff like that, just say y'all was out there mixing it up and something like that. You know what I'm saying? But this is the problem. This is the disconnect. Somebody who's not from the culture is gonna see that and think that's what it is. Then don't get mad. Don't get mad and say, man, why they not on beat? Because they seen your ass not on beat. So it's like, come on, man. It's to the point where it's like, we gotta stop. We gotta stop all this follow the leader stuff. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Either it's gonna be structure, or it's gonna be not, or it's gonna be like, what is it gonna be? You know what I'm saying? It's just to the point where it's like, man, now it seems like it's just okay. Everybody just doing their thing, all right, and I'm doing it this way. And if you know what I'm saying, and if you say something about it, you know what I'm saying, you hate or whatever. But there's no context because no communication is being had. That's the problem. Ain't nobody talking. People just assuming and just moving. Like,
yeah, that's sad because I always tell people, like, bro, learn to think for yourself sometimes,
yeah, man.
bro. Like, I don't care what crew you with. I don't care if you TS, Goon Squad, Creation. It's like, bro, be your own man first. Be your own woman first before anything, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, no offense to no, that's why I tell people, like, to be honest, I'm done with groups because it's like I can't be around people that's too like-minded. And what I mean by that is it's like if I do something, you're gonna do it because I'm like, no.
Yeah, man.
And even if you was gonna do what I'm doing, have your own flavor to it. Make me be like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Or even what we doing now, have your own flavor to us. Like, damn, I ain't never thought of it this way.
But that's what I'm talking about, man. Look, but that's what comes with structure. You know what I'm saying? Because it turns into I'm just happy to be here type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, what type of structure, man? Okay, if I could just get away with doing that, then it ain't. What is the problem?
Yeah, because I remember with
what's
groups.
What's the point of it?
Here's how I remember coming up with groups, for an example. Even battle clicks. So every group had a signature style where it's like, yeah, that's Creation. Oh yeah, that's Terror Squad.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's Goon Squad.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's Havoc.
Yes.
That's E Squad.
Yes.
That's A Plus.
Yes.
That's 187.
Yes.
That's No Remorse.
Yes.
That's Crown Works.
Yes.
And then in the midst of all that, they had their own individual style where it's like, okay.
You knew who Boo Dilla was. You knew who.
I knew who Jerron was.
Yes.
I knew who Greg was.
Yes.
I knew who Malcolm was.
Yes.
I knew who AZ was.
Yes.
I knew who Steve-O was.
Yes.
I knew who Lil Joe was.
Yes.
I knew who Buddy-O was.
Yes.
I know Omar was.
Individuality.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the problem is. But see, that's another disconnect. That's what comes with structure. But see, look, when you're a footworker, you dance to footwork tracks
Yeah.
because they're structured to the footwork style of dance.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way you can determine the different styles of dance within that structure is different groups and different people within those groups. But if you have a cluster F of people around and there's different there's different genres of music playing and
Yeah.
people are just doing a whole bunch of unstructured things, it's prone to fail. You know what I'm saying? It's prone to fail because it's just a bunch of people that's okay. I'm just having fun and everything like that, but it ain't nothing structured
You
about it.
know, you want to know? Hey, here's what I figured out, bro. And this is what's crazy. You know why Charles is good at what he does when he does some all dance styles competition? And I always tell Footwork is this, bro. I'm like, look, Footwork is house music at the end of the day. Let's make that clear. So in every um all styles dance competition, it's called a 4-on-4. So everything's up, even if it's so it's like, bro, you can low key still catch it, even though it's
See, but see, but just the disconnect.
mm-hmm.
The disconnect is, and this is where the line you drawn. The disconnect is it ain't about if you can do it on that tempo or not. It ain't about that. It ain't about I can do it. It's about it's not structured for that. That's the problem. That's the disconnect. It's not structured for that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The only reason, see, look, this is, and I explained this before. These other dance styles like crunk, popping, you know, like waving and different things like that. These are all structured dance styles that you can do to numerous amount of BPMs. With footwork, it is a structured dance style that fits the BPM realistically between 150. The older tracks
Really
were
130 to
well, okay,
160.
but we're talking about footwork though.
Mm-hmm.
Before we're talking about footwork, so we ain't talking about house. We talking about even footwork is a genre, it's genre house. But we talk house is between 130, you know what I'm saying, and 150. Or you know what I'm saying, you can put like one or 160, go up to 160. Footwork is between 150 and they doing like 165 right now, which is too fast to me.
Yeah, that's way too fast. But let me also say this.
Go ahead.
The footwork music itself is realistically 145 to 160. Now, as far as the footwork, the dance of it, shoot, it could be as slow as 120. Mind you, when footwork was first introduced out west or created out west, it was super slow.
But what that, but see, the problem is, but see, this the thing. But what dances were they doing to it? They wasn't
They,
doing all style dances to it though.
well, there was dance in the house. Well, that's first and foremost. And, that's why I tell people, like, I'm gonna take Abraham for an example. The reason how I knew that he was gonna learn footwork so quick, in my opinion, is like, bro, he does house. If you know house, which is the origins of what footwork is today, then it's like learning footwork is gonna be second nature.
But this another thing. But see,
And then
this is where knowing how to dance come in though. You know what
that
I'm saying?
too. Now, take another example. Little bit. She was a tap dancer originally, but when she started learning how to footwork, it became natural for her because what you think being on your tippy toes mean? That's tapping. We be on our heel, we be on our toes. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. For her learn how to footwork, second nature. Or that other guy, I keep forgetting his name. He's
Who's your mom?
He's from Footwork. I keep forgetting his name. He was tap that too, but he low-key was hitting some footwork moves. I recorded. It was up at Healthy Hood.
I
King
mean,
Charles.
but see
And
that
I was just
code,
like,
but this is the thing though. We talking about like it's a style that, but see, we talking about a style that can coincide alongside with that though. Because you're doing some stuff with your feet. You know what I'm saying? Like in a certain sense.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So of course it wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? You like you can freak it in a certain type of way.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this the thing though. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole problem though. The problem is when you doing, especially this is what I'm saying. As far as like, you know what I'm saying, from a dancing background, when you doing our style of footwork,
Yeah.
to the slower BPM, which is more bouncy in a certain sense, it kind of throws it off, you know what I'm saying, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Because this another thing people don't understand. When it was a slower BPM, you're doing certain moves. We're not doing this, is what I'm saying. It's a different style. We're doing house moves to house music. There wasn't no footwork combos and different stuff like that. You know what I'm
To
saying?
the
You got to
90s
think
shit,
about it
yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole problem. So it wasn't no no, it was
With a little,
that's it.
with a
That's what I'm saying. That's what it was. But this the thing though. That's why when you hear certain tempos in house or in ghetto house music to these dances, that's why it fits so well, because that's what it goes to. Like when you see, you know what I'm saying, Kwanzaa coming out, or like 187, boom, bang, 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 bang. It look incredible because that's when they hitting it like
Right.
that. That's what it goes to. You see what I'm saying? So when you change the tempo and it's not the same effect because it don't go to that. You see what I'm saying? So when somebody's visually looking at it, it looks different. You know what I'm saying? So when you're showing, like, if I'm showing somebody from that don't know the culture, if I'm showing them the ghost and I'm not doing it to the temple or the ghost, how they gonna know it's the ghost? Or the proper way to do it? That's where the structure comes from. I'm just looking like I'm just floating around and stuff like that. That's where the copy and the imitation comes in, because you just look like a dude just going like this and just going to the other side. And like, that's what I'm saying. They don't know what you're doing. Especially like if you're not explaining this is a ghost. They just think you just doing this to the side. I'm just doing a floppy man. They don't know what dance it is. That's all I'm trying to say. They don't know what you're doing. How do they know what you're doing? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's the disconnect. They don't know what you're doing. You ain't explaining because your floppity ass is happy to be here. Yeah, see, they finally love me. I'm finally at the Red Bull. No, nigga. All right, floppy man, you did a good job. You don't know what you're doing?
Man, you gotta love this.
Bro, I done been,
you gotta love.
Bro, you gotta know where you, bro. I grew up around, like, bro, come on. I grew up in these neighborhoods, bro. I know how people be thinking. They probably riding to the car, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Like, man, the guy was awesome, man. You doing some floppy shit. I don't know. It looked like bro, you was doing a fish or something. They always equate it to some animals or something. I'm telling you. Your happy ass at the crib thinking you killed it. They don't even know what you're doing. They just see your ass flapping around. Like, come on, dude. That's what I'm saying. That's all.
I ain't gonna lie. You got a point. Bro, wife woke up. That's some fancy moves, dude.
Dude, this is all I'm saying. How do they know if you not? You know what I'm saying? If you not explaining it, you know what I'm saying? Look. Remember when we was on the we was all on the that last call? Remember what I was talking about? That's all I was saying. How do they know? He was like, man, we just entertaining. Exactly. You just said it. You just there entertaining, not explaining. They don't even know what you're doing. You just there. You just happy to be here.
You know, but I'll also look at it this way. In order to,
and there's nothing wrong with that either.
To gravitate, you gotta entertain. But once you got them, then you explain.
No, explain why you entertain.
That true too.
That's what you do. You explain why you entertain, bro. Look, let me tell you something. And I said it before. When my mom worked at B96, the hottest house radio station in the country. When I went to these B96 parties, you know what I'm saying? Like when I got old enough, telling you, I danced around a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that didn't look like me. Guess what? You know what I'm saying? After that, they was like, oh man, that was awesome. They didn't know what I was doing. They was just like, man, that was amazing. That's it. That's it. They didn't know what I was doing. They were just like, man, bro, that was amazing.
I've had those comments
So
before.
they're just gonna go about it off. It's amazing. Unless you say, you know what I'm saying, but this is the thing, a lot of them are gonna ask, you know what I'm saying, or unless you be like, you know what, hey man, that's Chicago footwork.
I do. I definitely.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Unless you saying it, they just gonna say that's amazing. Mm-hmm. You have to speak. You can't just, you know what I'm saying, don't just assume, you know what I'm saying, these people, you know what I'm saying, just go out or they just love you or stuff like that or whatever. That's another thing about networking and getting your name out there. Mm-hmm. Because besides them being interested in doing it, yeah, they're always gonna be interested in doing, you know what I'm saying, in doing something that we create. Yeah. In a certain sense. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's comping, whether it's popping or anything. But at the same time, are you explaining it? Are you just happy to be here? Because you're gonna be one of the dudes that get taken advantage of just being happy to be here. And then the ones, you know what I'm saying, be sitting on the corner, man, I ain't got no money, man, but I can floppity, man, though. Yeah, right. Where the person that you did it in front of his ass on freaking Oprah Winfrey and shit doing a floppity, man, because he copyrighted it or something. Right, because he named it. Come on, man. This all I'm saying, man. This ain't no hate. This is conversation. This business. It ain't nothing wrong with having fun and entertaining. But nowadays we gotta have fun and entertain with a purpose, though.
Yeah, that's the
people is getting old, too old to be sitting around entertaining.
And on top of that, I'm glad you said that because we're in an era of content. I call it content footworking. It's like I said something a little while ago. I said, like, bro, I hate to tell the culture, but the battle scene is starting to fade a little bit because it's like everyone is converting to content. All you simply got to do is record yourself footworking and get views, and then boom.
Because this is something they don't realize. Because especially if you're at a certain caliber, you know what I'm saying, like people in BGs and stuff like that. Who was you going back out and battle each other? You know what I'm saying? So the battle should be for like, okay, who making the best content? That's what I'm saying, man. It's to the point where it's like, man, come on, make it worth your while though. But the problem is see, just the thing. In a battle, you're gonna get instant validation. Online, you're not. Nope. That's why a lot of people be afraid of the online stuff because it's like, man, in the validation, they could be like, all right, man, go such and such.
Well, it goes back to what I said about the old schoolers of some complain like they don't like the era today's forward, but when I tell them like, hey, bro, you got all this complaint, but you're not around, but then they'll come to you saying, well, we did what we could do. I'm like, no. You can still do more.
Well, see, look, but even,
you know what I'm saying? That's like me saying as a cameraman, oh, I did as much me recording vids. It is 2025 in my 18 years. I'm still recording. Hey. I'm still posting vids. I'm still putting people out there. What's y'all excuse? Hey. So with that being said, like, bro, there's no limitation of what you can do.
No, and that look, and never, even on that, I'm gonna defend that. Hey, either complain or get your ass up and show them.
That's why I respect it. Like, for an example,
get up and show them. Then,
like, look,
just get up and show them.
I'm gonna validate you real quick. You can complain all you want, but if people say some dumb shit, I'm like, hey, bro, he's active. You're around. I'll back you up. I'm like, bro, he's watching and he's actively around us, bro. He's not on social media.
No. I'm actually doing rounds.
Once again, setting up an event for us to do something. It's stuff like that to where it's like, bro, the man's still contributing.
All you got to do is show up. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. So people can't say, look, I ain't doing that. Like, look.
Because I'll be like this. It's those that's not doing anything. It's like, bro,
For
I
real.
respect you in terms of what you did back then, but I hate to tell you, your opinion is invalid to me. Unless two things: either you show me who you are, and what you say, and who you say you are, as well as you just show face and contribute,
Hey,
bro.
look. This is true fact. I forgot what year it was, but this is like before like I really, you know what I'm saying, really got, you know what I'm saying, started. Because I came around, you know what I'm saying, like the Havoc reunion, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But see, in one of the reunions, like Steve, this is some years back. Steve was like, bro, he was like, dude, he was like, bro, you gonna have to. He was like, man, you gonna have to really get back out here, man. You know what I'm saying, and really like show him. He was like, man, you can't just. Like you can't just go up there, man, and talk. He was like, they don't know who the fuck you is, bro. He was like, man, you got to get your ass back out there. What I do? I ain't complain. I got my ass back out there.
It's funny.
I listened,
bro.
I ain't even get mad.
Hey, you wanna know what's funny?
And that's little bro. I ain't getting mad not once. I was like, you know what? He right.
Hey Troy, you wanna know what's funny? Hey Troy, you wanna know what's
For
funny? You
real.
saying that? Like I really hate it when the older was like, "Do you know who this person is?" I'd be like, "No, I don't."
Right.
Man, how come you don't? I'm like, bro, they weren't around. I just only heard stories
Right.
of what they did. Here's a good example. Before Eli came back around, God rest his soul. Everyone told me about Eli from Wolfpack. Mind you, this was like 07, 08, 09. Heard stories. Never seen the guy.
Right.
Never until 2010. My 4 years in, that's when I first saw him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, who's that tall dude? You don't know who this tall dude is? I said, no, that's Eli. Okay.
Right.
But I was like, wow, that's Eli. I've heard of him.
Right.
But I've never seen him.
Right.
So how you gonna get mad at me? And this is another generation, and it's also a pet peeve.
Go ahead.
You can't get mad at who I don't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad at who I have not seen. Once again, the time I came in is when majority of y'all walked out.
Right.
So how can y'all get mad at what I don't know? Mind you, this was pre-YouTube, pre-Instagram. Hell, not even Instagram yet. Instagram wasn't even thought of yet. So we're gonna say pre-YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When cameras and getting recorded just got accepted.
Right.
Because people don't know, back in the day, first and second gen, you could not record.
Yeah.
That was a big no-no back in the day. If you record, they'll smack your camera out your hand doing that.
I think what it
was
was
a big no-no.
I think another thing too is like the old school look at it like when we seeing y'all dance and we seeing like y'all do a lot of these moves and these styles and stuff like that, we know where it came from. You know what I'm saying? So when certain people come around and and people be like, man, y'all don't know who these is, like and that's an old school, like that's like our fault. You know what I'm saying? On sense. So because we can't expect y'all to know who exactly these people is. You know what I'm saying? These people are, but it's to the point where in our mind we be like, okay, that move that you're doing or that style, like, do you know where you got it from? Like, you're standing in front of the person that actually made it. You know what I'm saying? Or like, come on. That's the thing. We be like, oh my God, you don't even know what, and you doing it right? Like, that's the dude over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
That is it's a communication thing.
And
that's
Troy, for you to say what you just said, that y'all take accountability for not showing the who's what, I respect you more for that, because that's all I was trying to tell Marlon and everyone else. I'm like, bro, we did not know y'all. At one point, that's where the big generation gap became a major issue amongst us. It's like, we did not know y'all. It was only a handful that stuck around.
Right.
Even when I look at the 07 King of Circle, it's like, half the people was on there. It's like, okay, those were the guys that I knew about or that I've seen coming to war zones or BGs or the Markham skating rink and all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I saw y'all.
Look.
You know, so can't fault me for what I didn't know. And then even at least give me some credit that I even did some research on who these people is and where they came from and how style became what and what not. You know, like prime example, like man, like I wish I had this vid that Jerron had, like how remember once again, like we used to identify styles, like how Jerron saw BB for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was An on point ass video. So I'm gonna tell y'all the story. And if Jerron, if you ever on here, like you're gonna have to show the vid, but it was a vid. They was battling. BB drove past them. Like, mind you, BB ain't been around in some years.
Mm-hmm.
He got out the car. He came and saw them. Mind you, this, like I said, pre-YouTube, they was recording, but they weren't posting no vids.
Mm-hmm.
So how they identify was like we said, what are you, old school or are you new school?
Mm-hmm.
Are you this group style or that group style? And what's your signature move where it's like who this individual is? So BB came out, he hit his first round. His first round, oh, he hit some old school shit. Okay, he old school. Second round, he hit a signature final chapter move. He final chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Then the third move was BB's signature move. I'm like, that's BB.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Right.
and I was like, on some real shit, you'll never see no shit like that ever again. Where you, as we said earlier, like you have to identify who this person was. So he showed he showed three different styles in 3 rounds. Old school, final chapter style. His own man too. Like, I'm like, wow.
I mean, well, see, this is the thing.
I'm like, that's cold.
You might as well put all the name fingers together because I mean, the whole thing was the whole style. The whole thing was the style. You know what I'm saying? Even the way. See,
but he broke it down into 2 different
entities.
Okay. But I get what you're saying.
This where the disconnect happens. When you say, see, this is the thing. When I know how BB danced.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say he,
but at the time they didn't know.
Okay, but okay. So when you say like he danced old school, this is the thing about this. This is another thing about styles. That style, that final chapter style that BB does, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That was created like by them, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So it's only them that does it, you know what I'm saying, that do it. Nobody out south, you know what I'm saying, Chicago, such and such like that, does that style. So him, Harlow, you know what I'm saying, Harlan, you know what I'm saying, who else? Like a couple other people. You know what I'm saying?
Kenlo, my boy Kenlo.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But think about it though. Think about it. Think about the style that they're doing, and think about their size. Think about their height.
Yeah, they all short.
It's all similar, right? Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's another thing to point out though. So that means, you know what I'm saying? Even and this another thing too. All of them was a part of Triple Phase. So, and this another thing people don't understand. That besides them being final chapter, all of them, Cowherd, Baby D,
rest in peace, Baby D. I wish I met him. I've heard stories about him too, but I never got a chance to meet, bro.
Who else? Kodak, you know what I'm saying, and them. But pretty much all of us, we were the outcasts. We were the group of footworkers that, you know what I'm saying, that connected with each other because we was always going against Wolfpack and all these other people. You know what I'm saying? So we started, you know what I'm saying, hanging out together and creating and mixing up styles.
Yeah.
That's where you see the similarity. So like when like all that, like that South suburb, like that style, that final chapter, that triple phase, like those kickouts and all this other stuff, and the way, you know what I'm saying, people spin and, you know what I'm saying, and like the whole like certain moves, you know what I'm saying, like when you see like the breakdowns and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying, different stuff like that, all that stuff came from under us. Like the bangs and that stuff, that came from under us. You know what I'm saying? Those were moves that we created. Like that wasn't nobody doing that prior. You can't find no South Side video with them doing those bangs prior. I guarantee you. You know what I'm saying? That's a style that we concocted.
Low key, I thought Triple Phase was like the South Suburb version of D Dynamic because that was also a collection of people from different groups. Cause I tell people like, bro, if
And
you
I was in
pick
D Dynamic. I
D
meant to, you know what
Dynamic
I'm
was
saying
really
too.
a all star collection of those from Triple Phase, Wolfpack, Lunatics, uh, HOC.
It
Cause
was only, but
you
see, this is the
know,
thing though. It was only I was the only one from Triple Phase that was in D Dynamic.
mm-hmm,
I was the only one in Triple Phase that was in D Dynamic because I was in HOC. A lot of HOC went to D Dynamic and
mm-hmm.
formed D Dynamics. You know what I'm saying? There was a part of it. It was Gutter Thugs was in there too. It was a lot of different collective of people, but
But yeah, and I was like, so I looked at True Phase, I looked at it the same way. It's like it had a collection of Chaos Posse, because Cowherd originally Chaos Posse. Shout out to
yeah.
Chaos Posse.
And that's how I met Cal Hurd. I was gonna look that video that I just put out with me and him banging by the you know what I'm saying by the speaker and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put that on my reel and I'm gonna write a post. You know what I'm saying under that because me and him when we first met battling. We almost fought.
it's amazing how people fighting and they become
Yeah,
best
Boo took
friends.
me to a party. This is when we got in HOC. Boo took me for the party because we started hanging out in Fort Heights because that's where HOC from. HOC Chaos
Yeah,
Posse. That's the neighborhood. So we was out there hanging out there. We went to a party, and shoot, me and Cowherd was battling and stuff like that. We almost came to blows and shit like that. You know what I'm saying or whatever. But we always connected on as far as like creativity and like different styles. You know what I'm saying and stuff like that or whatever. And plus another thing too, we was all of us was around Thaz. You know what I'm saying was promoting and was around Thaz and stuff. So we was always around each other a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like we was around like solo, all of us, you know what I'm saying? We was at Markham all the time. So we was always like mixing up, you know what I'm saying? Mixing up and shit like that or whatever. Like I know for a fact, like I know exactly when, you know what I'm saying, when Cowherd changed his style. And he started, you know what I'm saying, and he started bringing out all that new shit. The new shit that won him the King of the Circle. Because it was around that time we was all changing, like, you know what I'm saying, different stuff. And then after a while, we started mixing it up. We started mixing it up together even more. You know what I'm saying or whatever.
word.
But that's what I'm saying. All of them was you know what I'm saying was in triple phase. You know what I'm saying at one point. All of them came. That's what I'm saying. Like people don't understand. Like Manny and them, you know what I'm saying. All that Uptown and all like Taliban and Uptown and stuff like that. That come from being on from triple phase. Uptown is University Park. Them is our kids. Jason Brooks, all of them. Uptown, that's what it was. That's what they was. They was the young kids that was in triple phase. They the ones that came up with Uptown.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say Triple Phase was like the South Suburban version of D Dynamic.
Man, people don't be understanding like the real like the real history. You know what I'm saying? A certain thing. That's why a lot of times I don't say nothing, but I just be hearing all these names or people be like, man, bro, I wish these people was back. I'll be like, man, you don't even know how that was created.
That's why I always tell people, bro, like do your home before you say anything
Yeah.
because
But just ask though. People
you
don't
know
even ask. They just assume that they just know what happened back in the day or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, all you gotta do is just ask one of us what actually happened. You know what I'm saying? We should actually start having like round table talks.
yeah, man. I mean,
That'll be dope.
yeah, you know, I'm all for it. It's like people gotta be all for it. Just come to a type of understanding of what was what and how what came about and
Yeah.
why did it happen, so you could have an understanding for your own
Right.
knowledge or for your own self.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beauty of why I love being as a cameraman slash journalist. It's like, look, man, I'm trying to know everything to the T as best as I possibly can, but other thing I also have to understand too is that everyone's going to have their different versions of the stories of what happened too. So
Exactly.
you know, either it's going to make sense or it's not going to make sense. I'm going to say that. It's like,
Man, look, the
okay,
older the generation before you, it's always gonna be a certain disconnect. But to make it not is just communication. Just
it's just
communicate,
that
man.
simple.
Like, man, just stop all the assuming and stuff like that. If you got, it's like, all right, like a young dude, like, man, y'all hating. No, it's just no. It's like, look, it's like, I'm gonna make an example. You know what I'm saying? Then we gonna really cut it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like a young dude saying, man, why don't y'all just support, man? Y'all don't be showing us no, y'all don't be showing us nothing and all this other stuff. It's like, well, first of all. You already saying you got it already. I'm trying to explain to you how to do it, but you already talk. You already think you got it. So like, what is me saying something gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Basically, like, check your ego though. Let me help you. I don't want to control you. I want to help you, but let me though.
Another example of, I'm glad you say like support. Like I get real irritated with people talking about if you don't show up, it's not support. Like bro, there's all forms of support.
Don't
If I
nobody
can't,
gotta show up to
if
nothing
if
though.
if
Don't
I
nobody
can't
gotta do
come to
nothing.
your event, but I share your stuff, that's support.
Yeah.
If I spread the word that you got something going on, that's support. You know, there's all forms of support. It's like people want to look at it as, oh, you got to come. Like, no,
Man, everybody.
no, that's not the case, bro. And I need people. I need the community to quit doing that.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
all gotta look. We all gotta have some grace for each other, and we all gotta, you know what I'm saying, be humble and just long as we have a certain moral code and stuff like that, man, we should be good. Other than that, man, look, yeah, it's everybody got pride, egos and stuff like that. Everybody's competitive, and you're gonna have some button heads and stuff like that. But as long as it's communication and not assumption, it can move forward. But all the assumption stuff makes it worse.
and I hate to tell people this, and I think people need to be a little bit comfortable with this by now. Everybody pick and chooses, bro.
Right.
It's beyond our control.
Right.
We can't get mad at what people prefer or what people's preference is when it comes to events. We gotta learn to be okay with that. If
Right.
you like going to more of a street footwork event, okay, that's your preference. But if you like going to more of a formal, like Red Bullish type snipes related event, cool. I'm not. That's your preference, and we gotta learn to respect it. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to one simple thing: we all gotta coexist, bro. Everyone's gonna have their different paths on
Right.
what they feel that they can contribute in their own way, whether we can agree or disagree. But always remember, at the end of the day, as we wrap this up, that we all have a mission, we all have a purpose, we all have a set goal of contributing to this culture in the best way as we possibly can. And sometimes in life, when we do things, of course, it's not going to always be accurately 100% how we want things to be.
Right.
But that's the beauty of the journey of the accomplishments you're trying to achieve as you walk in this culture. And to everyone around the world that wants to interact with the culture, it's a beautiful thing that y'all practicing. It's a beautiful thing that y'all learn from each other, learn from whoever and all that. But before you see things and all that, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's why when I do my podcast, I always tell people like, bro, don't be afraid to ask questions. I'm not gonna treat you like I'm too good in you. It's like, look, if you want to know, I'm gonna answer it to the best of your abilities, and if not, I'm going to escort you to someone that may know the answer better than I can explain it.
Right.
So don't be afraid to ask questions. And that's another thing people need to stop doing. Like, bro, don't act like you got all the answers, because it's like at the end of the day, we really don't.
Right.
And what you don't know, you ask. And what they don't know, they'll escort you to someone that do know, bro. So don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid to learn. Because like I said, even when you watch my podcast, you know, same thing. Don't just listen, interpret what you don't interpret. Like, don't be afraid to inbox me of, okay, this is what I don't understand, da 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 da, and it's like I'll explain.
Right.
So, but hey, man, I really appreciate this sit down, man. I think it was long overdue. I mean, we've talked outside, but I think this is long overdue that we've had this discussion here, bro.
Yes, indeed. I just hope the camera didn't cut off.
I hope so neither.
Right.
But
I
y'all can
appreciate
follow me at Watch Your Witness _ Instagram, as well as you can follow me as Crosstalk Podcast _ That's CROSSTALKPODCAST _ Watch Your Witness is simple. WATCH letter N WITNESS _ So I'm not hard to reach.
Yeah, and this is Nebula 5, and you can follow me, and you can follow Footwork Cafe at Footwork Cafe, FOOTWORKCAFE at IG. I know it seems like I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying right now. But I'm thinking about like the camera and stuff like that. But and you can follow me on Instagram, Nebula5, NEBULA, the number 5IVE, and that's it. And we up out of here. Holla.
Nebula 5.
Yep. Over cafe.